Hello and welcome back. This is the live demo of our SAP Electronic Invoice Custom solution. In this session, I'll walk you through the configuration module and the setting it gets you. I would say that this is the most important module of the whole solution because the system behaves entirely according to what you set up here. Let's start with the receipt types. These are all the receipt types defined by the tax authority. The electronic tax credit invoice, debit and credit memos, purchasing receipts, and so on. If the company was issuing non-electronic receipts before, we set up a mapping here between the electronic and the non-electronic receipt types. This mapping lets us keep generating invoices for customers without touching the master data. It's also very convenient as a contingency if for any reason you cannot issue electronic invoices at a given moment. You can fall back to the previous receipts. Again, with no changes to the customer master data. This is the company level configuration. Here we register the company codes that will use the electronic invoicing. And if you ever need to stop the process for a specific company, you simply come here and deactivate it. Next, the receipt generation sources. This is where we tell the system where each receipt will originate. In SAP, receipts can be generated from three different areas: sales and distribution, finance, and purchasing. The tax indicator mapping links your internal tax indicators to the tax authority's indicators. Here is the receipt property. This is the old one, and this is the new one. As you can see, the new one is longer than the old one. Payment conditions. Another mapping, this time between your payment term codes and the tax authorities. The same applies to the withholding tax indicators. We map yours to the tax authorities. And the same again for the unit of measurements. This is the list of transactions that are allowed to generate electronic receipts. The solution is designed to run on different SAP versions. In this case, we are querying the pricing condition from this table because the system is running on S/4HANA. On an older version, SAP ECC for example, we would read from the KONV table instead. This is a list of fields defining the official documentation. By default, the mandatory fields come already activated, but if you need to send an additional field, you can enable it here, and it will be added to the XML structure automatically. If the tax authority later makes another field mandatory, we don't have to change the source code. We just activate the field right here. The solution ships with its own API provider, Evesa, but also connects to third-party providers. This is a list of APIs used to post invoices and to check their status. When you enable the notification process, this is where you come to add the email addresses of the people who will be notified. Here we configure the environments we're going to work with. And right here is where we tell the system the type of file we're going to use. The testing settings feed our test automation process. In short, it takes this data and runs through every possible scenarios completely automatically. Running the test automation process gives us the confidence that once we go to production, we won't run into any technical issues. This is a test automation tool I built myself, and it's what we use to validate all our products before handing them over to the user. This is how the test automation tool knows what to do. In this example, we are telling it, create an electronic tax credit invoice in local currency with a single item and apply a discount. Behind the scenes, the system then finds a customer that matches the receipt type, creates a sales order, creates and posts the outbound delivery, creates the invoice, generates the electronic tax receipt, and sends it to the tax authority. If you'd like to know more about the testing tool, I'll leave the link in the description. Our last configuration section is the system functionalities. This is where we control how the system behaves. For instance, if we want the system to send notifications, we enable that functionality right here. And this one is for when you want the invoice sent to the tax authority immediately after it's created. All right, that's it for the configuration module. In the next video, I'll show you the whole process running live. We'll create an invoice, watch the system generate the tax receipt, and send it to the tax authority. Get the track ID back in the response, receive the final verdict, and finally, add the QR code to the printed version of the invoice. See you then.